Hey guys, welcome back. We just got back from our trip to Burma. This is sort of like a family trip because I was born in Burma. And this is my first time back home ever since I left the country. So this trip is really meaningful to me, especially going with my dear wife, Carmen. Well, we flew from Hong Kong to Burma and we took a 9 hours bus ride from Yangon all the way to Bagan. The bus arrived in Bagan around like 5 in the morning. We took a cab and headed out to the hotel. But before we reached the hotel, we had to stop over at this gate and we had to pay like $20 US per person as a sort of like a entrance fee into the Bagan. I don't know, it could be a scam. The whole thing feels cheesy to me. Well, anyway, we finally reached the hotel and it turns out to be really nice. We rented a car through the hotel and went straight out. It costs approximately $50 US a day to rent a car. Well, Bagan is loaded, literally loaded with temples, pagodas. So I say it's a good idea to bring a pair of slippers, because you'll be taking off your shoes whenever you enter a temple. Bring a light jacket because it does get fairly chilly in the morning, but like around noon time it gets really hot. So that's the time we will head back to the hotel for a quick lunch and a quick power nap. Each morning we would leave the hotel around 5:30 for the sunrise, then spend a few hours roaming around the market and the temples. Well, Bagan is a really dusty place, so if you're thinking about using a scooter to go around, well, just make sure you have some kind of a filtration system. You could always take a public transportation such as this guy here, or you could always get a horse to settle around the neighborhood. But our bags were packed with cameras and we wanted to add a pinch of luxury in our trip. So renting a car makes the most sense to us. So where in Bagan is a good place to go? I don't know. I don't remember the names. The names are so long and they're somewhat difficult to read as well. A lot of the places that we went, they are all major touristy sites. I would recommend going to the Bagan viewing tower. You get the whole 360 panoramic view all the way from the top. It's really breathtaking. Well, anyhow, more about the place later in the video. And the cameras we brought, I was using the Panasonic GH4, the Leica SL, and the X-Band, while Carmen was using the Fuji GFX and also the Nikon FM2. Now, these time lapses were done by the GH4 using the small, tiny Jobo as a tripod. I also brought along two lenses. One is a Leica 35 Summicron, and the other one is the MyOptic 100mm f2.8. I like the 100 focal length a lot better than the 35. These building structures are quite far apart, so it's nice to have a long tele lens to bring it a bit closer. Personally, I'm not much of a landscape guy, so I try to add a bit of organic touch into each shot. And I think it's really cool to combine, the time lapse, the video, and the still shots all under the same roof. I basically glue myself to one spot and one spot only while the GH4 was doing the time lapse. And because of that, I noticed there are a lot of people using smartphones instead of conventional camera. So I guess it is true the digital camera sale has been declining because of the smartphones. I didn't see anyone in Bagan using film cameras, and that made me feel so special because I was using film. The truth is, I didn't shoot a lot of films in Bagan. I shot maybe like one roll. I have included those shots taken by the X-Band, and they are located at the back of this video. I have dust inside the GH4 as well as the Leica SL. I can't be bothered to remove them. I find it quite amazing the dust managed to creep inside the GH4 even though I didn't change the lens. So, do I still know how to speak Burmese? I know how to count from 1 to 10, then that's about it. The lady at the back is saying or screaming $500, $500. Now about the Bagan's viewing tower, it costs you $10 to get in. It was pretty crowded and the view is absolutely breathtaking. Now everything about the place is really nice, except I think they should set up a policy that no tripods should be allowed. The place is not exactly huge, and I think like tripods do get in the way, especially for those who just want to enjoy the view. We didn't stay at the tower for too long because there were some people like screaming their head out. They were discussing on what setting to use to shoot the sunset, and they were loud. And yes, they are the same group of people who were using the tripod. I think a little consideration to others is a lot more important than getting that shot. Well guys, that's it for this week. Right now I'm making the video for the trip to Mandalay. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.